Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Watch my video and subscribe my channel. Will is the father, according to 3 clues in Luna's shocking pregnancy announcement. Luna Nozawa has a plan, as seen in Bold and the Beautiful. She is quite hopeful about it, which is a little strange considering her sole strategy should be to stay away from the police, who would be searching for her if they found out she was still alive. However, based on 3 significant indicators we've lately witnessed, she is positive Will Spencer got her pregnant. We will discuss the grand scheme she is preparing and the child she hopes to prepare in her baby oven. Just because Luna finally got Will in bed, I had a sneaking suspicion that she might become pregnant. However, there are now massive red signs that indicate it is actually happening. I wonder if this is the beginning of her redemption story, which I doubt most fans are interested in. Now, let's tackle this problem. Luna's insane pregnancy plan to get out of prison. Luna has been discussing her plan to win Will over and live a happily ever after. She killed Sheila Carter, abducted the art teacher, and killed Liam Spencer, which makes it seem strange and improbable. Additionally, Luna had every intention of attempting to murder Steffi Forrester once more. Lee Finnegan fears that Luna will be sent to prison unless she gets control, stays concealed, and then leaves town. Sheila is likewise concerned, but she is also supporting her crazy grandchild. It appears like purposefully becoming pregnant with a Spencer child is a key component of Luna's scheme to evade jail time and steal Will from Electra Forrester. Bold and the Beautiful appears to be heading there for 3 very important reasons. Let's get started. Brave and gorgeous. Luna is expecting 3 startling indications that will astound her. Soap dirt. Sign 1. Luna's self-assured statement to Sheila. What Luna said to her grandmother Sheila this week is the first indication. Luna assured Sheila that she had everything under control and that she had a plan to ensure her and Will had a happy, long life together. Luna went on to say that Will is the reason she will never be imprisoned. She went on to say that she is eager for Will to hear the wonderful news and that their future is bright. That was the first indication that Luna might be expecting a child. Given that Will despises her, it seems absurd that she understands how to secure her happy ever after with him. However, Luna added that Will would prevent her from going to jail. In the majority of situations, he would never do that. But it makes far more sense if Luna is baking a Spencer bun. Although he and Bill Spencer would likely not want a Spencer heir to be born in prison, Will would detest it if he were pregnant with Luna. Sign number 2, a serious red flag. Expecting a miracle. Second, Luna told Sheila that she was expecting a miracle. The phrase expecting is quite concerning. The size of the moon is a red flag. Since Luna was just shot in the abdomen and presumably shouldn't be taking her uterus out for a test drive just yet, it would truly be a miracle. How likely is it that she was ovulating and sufficiently healthy when Katie Logan organized Will's party and Deacon Sharp took out those masks? However, because Bold and the Beautiful is a soap opera, miraculous timing is constantly used. The second indication that I believe Luna is pregnant is expecting a miracle. The solution to all of her issues would be a tiny bundle of Spencer delight. Sign number 3. The Spencer family's predicament and the belly touch. The fact that Luna placed her hand directly on her belly while telling Sheila all of this is the 3rd clear indication that she is pregnant. Luna truly expects Will to have impregnated her when she got him intoxicated and had intercourse with him, when he believed he was hooking up with his girlfriend, Electra, unless she has some weird indigestion. Luna hopes that she will become pregnant with Will's child and that he would be forced to save her from jail. Perhaps Luna believes Will see his father, Bill. Luna might believe that Wood would persuade Bill to spend more money on a pardon so that he can give his baby mama, Luna, another pass to avoid going to jail. Luna's illusions of beauty and boldness. Will would always have Luna's hooks if she became pregnant at that party. Luna believes that Will discover she is expecting a child, fall in love with her, forget about Electra, get down on one knee with a ring, and declare his love for her. They will start a family, and be together forever. She is quite naive. I know Will be appalled. He might even attempt to pressure her into ending the pregnancy. Do you recall when Bill attempted to kill pregnant Amber Moore Forrester by pushing her off a balcony? Bill might do something to Luna, so don't rule him out either. In the worst scenario, Luna is imprisoned and the baby is imprisoned. Will should be granted automatic custody as the child is his biological child and infants are not allowed to remain in prison. If this were the real world, things would proceed as they should. However, I doubt Dollar Bill Spencer would permit that to occur. Is Spencer trying to get custody on B&B? He is cursing himself for granting Luna the pardon, which ultimately led to Liam being shot and nearly resulting in Steffi being shot. However, Bill doesn't care that Sheila, the crazy, lost another toe. Due to Luna's pardon, Bill is essentially a town outcast at the moment. However, if Bill learns that Luna is expecting his grandson, he might go to great lengths to safeguard the infant and then scheme to obtain custody later. All right, we're not going to press charges on Luna right now. Bill and the other people she attacked might decide to band together, wait 9 months for her to give birth, have her jailed, and then keep the baby. There's always a chance. But it seems to me that Brad Bell is playing with the supporters, and he will soon have Luna at his mercy. Brad Bell's bold and the beautiful comeback. Brad Bell is treating Luna the same way he treated Sheila, who ought to spend the rest of his life in prison. I don't believe Luna will return to prison if she becomes pregnant, or she might be out again like a revolving door if she does. Will fell straight into the honeypot baby trap, and it appears that she has devised this plan. As Will's mystery masked lady, I anticipate Luna will continue to tease him by sending messages on that burner phone. Does she have evidence of their tryst, I wonder? Did she record a video or take a picture? Twist of paternity? Is Will's baby actually his? Here's something to think about. Do you recall Luna's attempt to have Bill be her father by manipulating the paternity test? As a result, there is a remote possibility that Luna is pregnant, but it is not Will's child. Perhaps Luna has plans to try to pass off the baby as Will's child after hooking up with Remy Price. If the truth were revealed, Will would be exonerated if Luna is pregnant. I have wondered if Luna would be pregnant ever since the night of the party. These 3 strong indicators now suggest that a deal might be finalized. Electra will be incensed when she learns that Will had an affair with Luna. She will most likely leave him. In this case, Will is the victim. I sincerely hope Will decides against using Electra's VC card. Will might lack self-control because he is a Spencer guy. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Will you be appalled if Luna becomes pregnant? Would you rather see her released or put back in jail? The pregnancy and baby plot of Luna has been confirmed. According to Thursday, August 28th's recap of The Bold and the Beautiful, Will Spencer inquired as to whether Sheila Sharp had visited his room that evening. Following the confirmation of Luna Nozoa's baby storyline, this is how Thursday's show unfolded. Luna eagerly anticipated Will's reaction when he discovered she was hiding behind the mask at Lee Finnegan's house. Luna needed to remain concealed until they could come up with a legal strategy for her, Sheila noted. Lee asked Luna if she was expecting another miracle, to which Luna replied that perhaps she was, but she was unconcerned. Luna put a touch where she hoped her baby bump would ultimately be and grinned over her idea once she was by herself. Luna was clearly counting on becoming pregnant after her run-in with Will. Electra Forrester, who wanted Will to remember every wonderful event, was relieved that nothing transpired after the party in the Forrester design office. Electra implied that it was okay for Will to become buzzed, despite his embarrassment about his intoxicated actions. Will assured Electra that she was the only person he wanted, and he focused on their planned evening together. That's what Electra thought, and she told Will she was prepared for the next phase. Will later appeared at Aiel Giardino and asked Sheila about that evening. She was shocked when Will inquired as to whether Sheila had entered his room and promptly dismissed the notion. Although Will acknowledged that it wasn't Sheila, he made the point that someone had entered his room and he needed to find out who it was. Will therefore urged Sheila to assist him if she had any information. Hope Logan returned to the office after Deacon Sharp encouraged his daughter to give Liam Spencer another chance. Carter Walton then revealed to Daphne that he wanted to wed Hope as soon as possible during Thursday's B&B show. Daphne pondered whether Carter feared Hope would decide against being married. Now that Liam was no longer dying, there was considerable discussion concerning him. Carter defended Hope's devotion to him just as Hope emerged in the doorway, despite Daphne reminding him that his fiancée already had a family with someone else. Once her presence was known, Carter was relieved that Hope overheard him as he briefly listened to him gushing about their love. Carter forced Hope to choose a wedding date after Daphne left, and he acknowledged that Ridge Forrester had accepted his offer to be his best man. Carter was determined to wed Hope immediately, but Hope appeared uncomfortable recalling Deacon's counsel. Liam told Ivy Forrester at the Spencer estate that even though Hope was engaged to Carter, he still desired her. Ivy kissed Liam on the cheek and said Hope was fortunate to have him as his lifelong partner. When Ivy and Electra met again in the design office later, Electra wanted to know how things were going with Liam. As a result, Ivy informed her that Liam preferred a reunion with Hope to one with her. Luna's unexpected pregnancy, the 50,000-word story. Although Luna Nozoa had always been a wild card in Los Angeles, the stakes had never been this high, the danger so evident, or the potential repercussions so permanent. Lust, deceit, redemption, and the survival of one of the city's most fractured dynasties, the Spencers, were all intertwined in this scheme, which started as a desperate night of manipulation at a mass party and could turn into the most explosive baby scandal in bold and the beautiful history. Luna crossed a line, not only ethically but also strategically, when she placed her hand on her belly and whispered to Sheila Carter that she was expecting a miracle. She saw this as a matter of leverage rather than affection. The killing of Liam Spencer, the attempted murder of Steffi Forrester, the abduction of the art instructor, and the mayhem she inflicted on the Forrester, Spencer, Logan family all cast a shadow over her every breath. Detectives were still assembling her trail, warrants were ready to be signed, and a single mistake would result in steel bars rather than silk sheets. However, Luna had a strategy that seemed crazy to everyone else but seemed infallible to her. She would commit herself to an heir of the Spencer family. Not just any heir. Will Spencer, Bill's younger son, who had developed into a man who was continuously forgotten in the midst of his father's empire's turmoil and the spotlight of Liam's tragic bravery. As Electra Forrester's next move toward creating a safe, high-fashion, high-capital dynasty, what was meant to be her safe bet. However, all changed on one night of disguised excess, which was planned by Luna's slyness and Sheila's diversion. First sign, the proclamation. "I have a plan," I said to Sheila at the beginning. "Because of Will, I will never be able to witness the inside of a cell. We have a bright future. He'll know soon." That scene played repeatedly in Sheila's head, like a horrible tune. Even the ever-scheming Sheila had to concede that Luna was playing this card too soon, even though she had witnessed numerous women use pregnancy as a trump card. Will detested her. He had a soft spot for Electra. He had Bill in his ear. However, Luna thought that the promise of a Spencer heir would surpass all of that the appearance of a baby bump would erase bullets, injuries, and broken pledges, as well as rewrite morals and history. Sheila was concerned because Luna's exposure meant her own, not because she cared about right or wrong. Sheila was just holding to respectability following her recent redemption deeds with Steffi and Finn, and the authorities would be sniffing around her door if they connected the veiled seduction to Luna. Luna's audacity put everything in jeopardy. However, Luna, with one hand on her stomach and the other using a burner phone to text, she simply grinned. Expecting a miracle is the second sign. Everyone was startled at the word expecting, spoken nonchalantly, even slyly, to Lee Finnegan during tea time while he was attempting to devise a plan of escape for her errant niece. "Are we anticipating another miracle?" Lee had made a joke. Luna said, maybe, with that same dangerous certainty flashing in her eyes. It was insane. She had only been shot in the abdomen a few weeks prior, and her reproductive system was hardly ready to recover, much less conceive. However, Luna believed in soap science, which held that time bent for the brave. Tragedy made you irresistible, and suffering made you fruitful. That line also made Sheila pace across Deacon's former office at Aiel Giardino. Expecting a miracle indicated that Luna was either prepared to pretend until the crime was completed or that she was already certain it had been completed. Luna had already tampered with DNA in an attempt to fit herself into the Spencer tree as Bill's daughter, using fake timelines, fake ultrasounds, and switched paternity tests. Would she be able to repeat it? Would she risk it? Sign 3, the touch of the belly. Then there came the subtle but noticeable belly touch. Luna put her palm against her flat stomach and grinned like a cat that had just snatched the cream as Sheila cautioned her to remain hidden. Later, when Will played back the bits and pieces of that evening, that gesture lingered in his subconscious. Was that Electra's perfume, or was it something else? A concealed smile's curvature, the hazy recollection of hands leading him to bed, the fire in his throat, and the champagne. Then there was a void. The party had ended, Electra was gone, and a dreary guilt had taken hold when he woke up. Questions started to surface weeks later. Was there anyone else in my room that evening? With troubled eyes and a hushed voice, he asked Sheila. No, she answered too hastily. Of course not, he said, but his intuition disagreed. He was marked. Luna was now hinting at a future. The plan comes to life. Luna saw her life as a storyboard of redemption. A child would legitimize her, a baby would soften her edges, and public opinion would change, particularly if Will was presented as the reluctant, perplexed, but ultimately obedient father. Bill would intervene, tough but protective, to get Luna out of jail for the benefit of his grandson, while Electra would be portrayed as the resentful outsider who was unable to embrace the miracle. The Forresters would be too worn out to launch another campaign of retaliation after being split apart by Steffi's near-death experience and Liam's incredible survival. She kept a secret journal in which she recorded everything, including names, timings, and even possible press releases. Luna Nozawa, from fugitive to family. She pictured the news media coverage. Reality, however, had other ideas. Will's predicament. Will Spencer wasn't a fool, but he grew up in a society where men like his father had engaged in emotional chess with women like Quinn Fuller, Amber Moore, and yes, even his own mother, Katie. Although he was aware of manipulation, this felt worse. Luna had been drugged, molested, and used as a pawn if he was being honest. She was going to destroy his whole relationship with Electra based on falsehood if she was telling the truth. The only person who appeared to be sufficiently removed from the family conflict to provide perspective was Ivy Forrester, with whom he first confided. If Luna is pregnant, Bill will protect that baby, even if it means protecting her, Ivy cautioned him. You must consider reality rather than convenience.